A single document lay in front of Fang, revealing secrets that could change everything. A tense confrontation unfolded as Fang faced who held a document in apprehension. Fang made it clear that her family was far superior to his. Fang dismissed concerns about the family, claiming they were insignificant and nothing to fear. Frustration filled the car as Fang spoke anxiously on the phone about his recent investment losses. Desperation and determination washed over Fang as he spoke animatedly on the phone about his financial struggles. Tension surrounded Fang as he argued fervently on the phone about the family's precarious situation. He insisted they could not rely solely on Master's advice. A confrontation brewed as Fang gestured animatedly on the phone and said he would give another 500 million to stop the nonsense. Optimism surged as Fang drove and spoke enthusiastically on the phone, thanking his father for the investment. Excitement washed over Fang as he shared the news with the curious woman in the car. A playful conversation unfolded inside a luxury car as Fang drove and chatted with the curious woman, asked how it felt to be Mrs. Fang. Tension filled the room as Fang smirked and delivered a mocking remark to the distressed woman. A couple shared an intimate moment while another woman watched with a longing expression. The girl embraced Fang, expressing her desire to call him honey, and jealousy flickered in the other woman's eyes. In a luxury car, a confident and ambitious woman revealed her intentions to deliver wedding invitations directly to President Yi and President Qin. Fang drove the car, discussing Yi with a concerned woman beside him. She questioned why he would invite his ex-husband to the wedding. Fang smirked while writing an invitation, revealing his playful plan to embarrass Yi at the wedding banquet. Fang leaned closer to in the car, inviting her to spend the night at his place to relieve his stress. Inside the car, an anxious woman expressed her concern about living together before marriage, mentioning they would be married in just a week. Frustration washed over Fang as he sat in the car, reflecting on his grandmother's old-fashioned ways and the woman's cunning nature. A conflicted woman sat in the car, her thoughts swirling as she chose her words carefully. He listened intently, surprised by her admission of feelings for both him and Fang. A confident woman with long hair dismissed Fang's abilities, claiming he lacked too much compared to someone else. A charming woman complimented Mrs. Fang, noting her beauty and newfound nobility since marrying into wealth. A hopeful Fang handed over wedding invitations, discussing details with President Qin. She asked if the wedding date was set. A confident woman held a decorative card, announcing the wedding date as exactly 1 week away on May 12th. A birthday card glimmered in the light, causing a young woman with a surprised expression to realize it was Yi's birthday. A confident woman with paper explained that President Qin remembered Yi's birthday because it coincided with her father's. A tense atmosphere filled the room as a provocative woman confronted Mrs. Fang about the significance of a wedding date. She reminded Mrs. Fang that Yi was still her ex-husband. The woman implied that choosing this date seemed inconsiderate given their past. Mrs. Fang listened, feeling the weight of the situation pressing down on her. A tense confrontation unfolded as a frustrated woman expressed her discontent about the wedding date chosen by Fang's family. Two women stood in an office, one eager to deliver a wedding invitation. The first woman asked if President Yi was in the office. The other woman confirmed his presence. A confident woman stood at the door of a presidential office, inviting someone to enter. A curious woman watched a man with his back turned, puzzled by the resemblance she noticed. Fang stood firmly, handing a wedding invitation to a curious woman who looked up at him with a mix of surprise and intrigue. A serious atmosphere filled the room as a woman with orange hair revealed the wedding date to Fang. A tense silence enveloped them as Fang revealed a letter, his intense gaze meeting the shocked woman's eyes. A heavy tension lingered in the air as Fang held a wedding invitation, his serious expression revealing deep concern about the upcoming marriage. He questioned whether choosing this date was courting disaster. A palpable tension filled the room as Fang received an invitation from a girl. He felt frustrated and surprised by the unexpected gesture. A pensive atmosphere settled as a confident man with slightly sarcastic demeanor held a note, contemplating its contents with curiosity about Fang's writing. Fang confronted an unidentified character, asserting he had received the invitation and that they could leave now. The unidentified character challenged his decision and congratulated him. A tense moment unfolded as a desperate woman grabbed Fang's shoulder, pleading with him to avoid attending the wedding. A tense atmosphere thickened as a frustrated young woman with dark hair gestured emphatically, expressing her annoyance about attending the wedding. A tense silence filled the air as Fang prepared to leave, uncertainty lingering in his mind. He thought something was hidden behind Yi's smile. A confident woman stood before a modern cityscape, gazing upward with determination. A woman confronted a Fang, expressing her disapproval over his decision to marry on his birthday. Fang expressed frustration, instructing to notify the company's partners about his birthday, irritated by the wedding overshadowing his special day. Excitement filled the air as a Fang envisioned a grand birthday banquet for Yi, hoping to convey his true feelings. Amid wedding decorations, a Fang shouted into his phone, overwhelmed by a sudden loss of money in a game. Frustration surged through a Fang as he shouted about his financial losses. A dozen companies had collapsed within a week. A tense atmosphere surrounded the gathering, with an unspoken weight hanging in the air. Another character questioned Fang, wondering if he had offended someone. A tense silence filled the room as Fang voiced his disbelief about an unseen antagonist's accusations. Fang expressed his frustration about jealousy surrounding, fearing an old pervert in the business circle was targeting him. A confident man gestured towards Fang, dismissing concerns over the money as trivial. Fang stood silent, a wave of unease washing over him. Fang held his phone, confidently declaring that was now in his hands, ready to be played with as he wished. A cheerful woman prepared for her wedding, excitedly talking on the phone with her, Fang, about trying on her dress and doing her makeup. A concerned woman with orange hair warned someone on the phone to get some sleep, mentioning they would be exhausted later. A curious Fang asked about Fang, his surprise evident as he sought more information. A young woman expressed her disdain for Fang, claiming he was vulgar and that she preferred Yi's gentler nature instead. A bold and assertive woman in a wedding dress confronted someone off-panel, questioning the appropriateness of praising her ex-husband on her wedding day. A worried bride confided in her supportive friend, expressing her fears about marrying today and the uncertainty of a future with Yi. A tense atmosphere hung in the air as a young woman in a wedding dress stared at her reflection with uncertainty. A guiding and assertive figure pointed towards the mirror, urging her to look closely. A supportive friend praised a bride standing nervously in front of the mirror, insisting that no man could refuse her beauty. A confident woman warned the concerned woman that Yi would always be a backup plan in his life. A calm scene unfolded in the villa area, showcasing traditional architecture embraced by lush greenery. A tense atmosphere hung in the air as a concerned woman adjusted a man's, warning him about the risks of trusting too much. A tense conversation unfolded as a concerned woman expressed her doubts about trusting, believing it jeopardized their company's future. Moments later, a defensive man insisted he hadn't taken any money from her family. She clarified her intentions, suggesting they could seek financial support from her family if he was truly confident. A fierce man confronted unseen opponents, declaring he needed nothing from them. He aimed to prove his worth to the family and make a comeback. A luxurious setting enveloped them as a determined woman embraced a conflicted man, urging him to focus on their son's wedding instead of their worries. A worried woman in a stylish dress urged a man in formal attire to stop Fang from humiliating his ex-husband at the wedding. A stern-looking man delivered a warning about an important guest at the wedding, emphasizing the need to entertain President Yi well. A confident and poised woman reflected on her commitment as a luxury car parked outside a villa, ready for the event ahead. A commanding and poised woman stood beside a red car, urging President Yi that it was time to set off. A confident Fang gestured to the audience, declaring that he was the abandoned son-in-law of the family. A confident and mischievous female character expressed her eagerness to witness terrified reaction, her smirk revealing a playful intent. Fang stood among a gathering at a luxurious hotel, proudly engaging with guests at his son's wedding celebration. Amidst the wedding festivities, a young woman with an excited expression exclaimed in astonishment that President Ma had actually arrived. An older man with gray hair stood confidently, asserting that President Ma was the nation's top figure and criticizing the Fang family's wedding plans. Tension filled the air as a confident Fang confronted President Ma, questioning his right to be at the gathering. The atmosphere shifted as the host eagerly invited President Ma to take the seat of honor, expressing respect and anticipation for the conversation ahead. A formal gathering buzzed with anticipation as a polite and attentive Fang conversed with an elderly man, discussing President Yi of Group. A bride stood thoughtfully, holding a bouquet. She contemplated what it meant to be worthy of the president's attention. A dreamy and romantic Fang smiled while lost in thoughts of a perfect wedding day. He sighed, wishing to stop fantasizing about it. Excitement filled the air as a Fang eagerly spoke on the phone, promising to welcome the arrival with enthusiasm. A sense of urgency hung in the air as a man called for immediate action to welcome important guests. Fang responded with determination to the man's directive. Excitement buzzed among the gathering as characters discussed President Yi's growing influence and his ruthless business tactics. A female character eagerly shared the latest gossip about him. Another female character agreed they should seize the opportunity to meet him. A sleek white car raced toward a calm and observant Fang, who watched with curiosity as his surprised companion reacted to its speed. A luxury car pulled up, and excitement surged as a confident woman stepped out, drawing everyone's attention. A graceful and composed woman approached, drawing curious glances from the crowd. A group member introduced her to Fang as President Yi of Group. A mysterious figure emerged, his expression calm yet resolute, ready to make an impactful statement. Fang confidently expressed his thoughts to those gathered around him. Fang stood confidently in a sharp white suit, determination radiating from him under the bright sky, ready to face unseen challenges. A sudden hush fell over the crowd as a confident Fang introduced Yi, leaving the bride in a state of shock and confusion. The air thickened with curiosity as a woman in a red dress asked another woman in white about Yi. A man in formal attire enthusiastically greeted President Yi, expressing that his presence was the greatest honor for him and his son. A stunning revelation stirred the crowd, as a confident woman expressed her surprise at President Yi's youth and handsomeness. An observant man complimented the woman beside Fang, noting her beauty with a proud tone. Fang acknowledged the compliment, affirming she was indeed his wife. A flattered woman thanked President Yi for the compliment, while feeling her face grow warm at his praise. Fang angrily accused Yi of pretending to be a president, revealing his true identity as just a bodyguard. Fang expressed his admiration for President Yi, feeling honored to finally meet him in this formal setting. In an elegant setting, a wealthy Fang shook hands with a friendly figure, both exchanging warm but curious glances. Fang shared his admiration for President Yi's grandfather, expressing a desire to visit him while feeling hesitant about disturbing the elderly man. The woman questioned the connection regarding Yi's grandfather, surprised by the revelation. Fang responded to President Yi, mentioning his intention to exchange contacts and expressing hope for another meeting soon. A surprised crowd watched as a hand held two smartphones, signaling a significant interaction. The astonished onlookers couldn't believe President Ma was asking for a junior's contact. Tension hung in the air as Fang watched President Ma prepare to leave the meeting. Moments later, he felt anxious about the abrupt departure. A tense atmosphere filled the room as a desperate man pleaded for mercy on the ground. President Yi towered over him, exuding a menacing presence. A tense atmosphere lingered as a man expressed shock, questioning why Ma was here, bowing before Yi. A desperate man with a bloody forehead pleaded with President Wu for the return of his franchise, revealing it was lost due to offending another powerful figure. A man with dark hair expressed regret, pleading for forgiveness from President Yi, revealing he had failed to recognize the true nature of their relationship. A tense confrontation unfolded as a man in a tuxedo pointed accusingly at others, pleading for forgiveness over a misunderstanding involving the family. A frustrated man with a bandaged head yelled at President Ma, questioning if he was truly President Yi. A tense moment enveloped the room as a Fang reflected on Yi's call, uncertainty etched on his face. He questioned the reality of Yi's presence at the banquet. Others rushed towards President Yi, urgency palpable in their voices. A panicked figure called out for President Yi, desperation driving him forward. A distressed man with dark hair yelled for help from President Yi and brother, revealing his restaurant had been crushed by the 7 cloud branches. A nervous man pleaded with President Yi, mentioning the family had pressured him at the banquet, insisting he had no choice in the matter. A sense of disbelief filled the air as a Fang stared at Yi, questions swirling in his mind. Fang questioned Yi's status, bewildered by the revelation. A wave of arrogance swept through the crowd as a confident Fang took a selfie, relishing his moment in the spotlight. He announced it was finally his turn to shine and urged everyone to check the Eye of Heaven app for information about the president of group. Fang and a bride checked their phones, startled by a shocking message that disrupted their moment. A wave of shock washed over a Fang as he grasped the startling truth about Yi's identity. Fang couldn't believe Yi was truly president. A sense of panic filled the air as a young woman held an elderly woman, her eyes wide with fear. She thought their family was finished now that Yi was revealed as president. Desperation set in as she considered faking a faint to avoid attention. Amid the chaos, she called out for her grandmother, worried about her distress. A sense of urgency filled the air as a Fang assured his mother they would escape Yi's wrath. He vowed to take her to safety immediately. Amid the frantic discussion, an anxious figure insisted they must avoid confrontation. Another intense voice proposed a plan to slip away unnoticed. A sense of urgency gripped the Fang as he rushed his mother toward help. He expressed his determination to get her to the hospital. Anxiety hung thick in the air as a nervous bride glanced at her husband, seeking reassurance amid the chaos of their wedding. A surprised woman questioned a composed man about his identity and his connection to the group. A woman expressed disbelief, realizing the man beside her had silently protected her for 3 years. Fang stood next to her, proud and supportive. A fierce confrontation erupted as one woman fiercely defended a man she cared about against another who provoked her with harsh words. A heated exchange ignited as one woman accused Fang of betraying their past. She stated he was never her brother-in-law. He reacted with confusion and disbelief. Another woman claimed their father arranged their marriage. A tense moment unfolded in the lavish room, where emotions clashed and voices rose in disagreement. He commanded to take the girl away, asserting his authority. The defiant girl struggled against the grip of, unwilling to be taken. A tense conversation unfolded in the lavish wedding setting, where one woman expressed her deep concern about Yi's possible intentions. Warned that Yi was the ex-husband of her friend, she feared his presence might disrupt the wedding and lead to revenge. A tense atmosphere enveloped the wedding as Fang questioned the bride about Yi's motives. The bride looked anxious as she considered Fang's inquiry. Fang turned his back to, asserting that there was nothing left between him and his ex-wife. A car raced down the street, urgency palpable in the air as the driver urged the passenger to reach the hospital. Panic surged through the air as Fang shouted in shock, realizing his mother was awake and screaming. A deep sense of despair enveloped her as she clutched her head, realizing the full extent of their family's downfall. She expressed regret over the consequences of her actions. A sudden slap echoed in the formal setting, marking the tension rising between the guests. A woman demanded Fang apologize to President Yi for not treating him well. Fang stood there, caught off guard and embarrassed. Fang reflected on his mistake, feeling regretful and embarrassed for underestimating Yi's true identity as the president of. Fang, tense and anxious, urged President Yi to come inside and promised his son would apologize again. Tension crackled in the air as an authoritative man in formal attire demanded the assistant pour wine for President Yi. Frustration boiled over as Fang questioned how many guests he had invited to his wedding, fearing he couldn't face them if things went wrong. Tension hung thick in the air as accusations flew among the gathered guests. He questioned the legitimacy of the marriage. Chin explained the Sky Eye information might be submitted by her or a hacker. An unknown character observed President Ma's peculiar appearance, doubting his authenticity. A mocking Fang laughed confidently, while a skeptical figure questioned him with a serious expression. A mocking character laughed at Yi, suggesting he was merely a bodyguard pretending to be a president to make someone regret their choices. In a formal setting, an assertive woman confronted a surprised Fang, pointing out his misunderstanding of President Ma's recent attitude toward President Yi. A lavish room buzzed with tension as a Fang asserted his beliefs to the audience. Fang insisted he was not talking nonsense. Another character questioned if they noticed the president's changed appearance. A tense atmosphere hung in the air as characters scrutinized President Ma's unexpected presence at the wedding. Fang questioned the authenticity of the man's appearance. A skeptical observer agreed with Fang's doubts about the identity. A concerned attendee added her worries about the situation unfolding around them. A tense atmosphere filled the elegant room as the assertive woman challenged Fang's doubts about the authenticity of Sky Eye's information. A heated argument erupted as an angry man accused Fang of reckless behavior, endangering everyone around him. Fang stood furiously, berating two kneeling individuals for their perceived betrayal while signaling security to remove them from his sight. The tension thickened as a desperate woman in a wedding dress pleaded for forgiveness, while men in suits restrained another figure nearby. A confrontation brewed in an elegantly decorated room where frustration hung heavily in the air. The assertive woman demanded Fang to stop joking around in such a serious situation. She pointed out that if he truly was the president, her efforts to divorce him would be a laughable mistake. Fang remained calm but under pressure, absorbing her words in silence. The passive woman observed quietly, sensing the rising tension between them. Fang smirked while holding a drink, dismissing the concerns of two kneeling individuals as mere nonsense. The air crackled with tension as a woman expressed shock, her eyes wide, while a nervous man stood anxiously by her side. Fang yanked his hair, expressing his anger and disbelief at her lack of resolve. Fang confronted a woman angrily, declaring that her actions could drag down the family and threatening divorce if she provoked Yi again. A startled woman confronted a stern-looking man, surprise etched on her face as she pointed at him. A confident man in formal attire gestured to the guests, inviting them to sit and enjoy tea before the wedding began. A tense atmosphere hung over the lavish table as Fang listened intently to the woman's worried expression about doubts surrounding his identity. A tense silence enveloped the room as Fang revealed his thoughts to an unknown character. She reacted with concern to his words about the Fang and families. A lavish banquet table filled with elegant dishes awaited the guests, heightening the anticipation for the upcoming celebration. Fang leaned closer too, eager for her response about his birthday. A festive atmosphere filled the room as a charming woman raised her drink in celebration. She wished Yi a happy birthday, expressing her affection with a smile. A stylish event buzzed with excitement as a female character announced the arrival of another distinguished guest. A wealthy man in a suit extended his hand to another man in formal attire, acknowledging the prestigious presence of. A proud man gestured animatedly, excitedly sharing how President's presence at the wedding brought him great honor. Fang listened intently, feeling a mix of obligation and anticipation. The atmosphere thickened with tension as a man with glasses clarified that the gift was not intended for the other man's son. The atmosphere turned tense as a cunning and calculating man revealed a cash gift to the groom's father, claiming it belonged to someone else. The room buzzed with curiosity as Fang noticed President holding a cigar box, sparking his keen interest. Fang questioned President about the cigar box's significance. President confirmed Fang's observation with a calm smile. Fang presented a sparkling wooden box labeled Gurkha and humorously acknowledged his poor English and ignorance about the pronunciation. Fang proudly showcased an extravagant Gurkha Royal Courtesan cigar, leaving the onlookers astonished by its staggering price. A confident man in a suit addressed President Fang and the newlyweds, announcing he would need a moment of their time. A cheerful man handed a beautifully wrapped gift to President Yi, celebrating the occasion with excitement. Fang listened attentively, his expression pensive amidst the festivities. A wealthy and generous man revealed a luxurious cigar, claiming it was a special gift for Yi, sparking surprise among the onlookers. A formal setting buzzed with energy as a confident and courteous Fang shook hands with a polite and respectful politician. He remarked that President was too polite despite their partnership. A wedding scene unfolds, filled with confusion as a shocked bride looks towards her guests, who murmur about the commotion outside. The bride wonders how Yi could be a fake president, questioning his politeness toward him. Curious guests express their bewilderment over the noise disrupting the celebration. A confident and alluring woman sat elegantly with a drink, hinting that the good show was just beginning. A tense atmosphere filled the room as an anxious man informed Fang about the arrival of uninvited guests at the main gate. A wave of confusion swept through the room as a Fang informed Fang about wealthy guests willing to pay to attend the wedding. A proud father instructed the hotel staff to prepare for his son's big day by adding more tables for the guests. A sense of dread settled over the gathering as Fang expressed his worries about Yi's influence on his family's reputation. A joyful celebration unfolded as a Fang congratulated Fang on his son's wedding. A curious Fang wondered why some faces in the crowd seemed familiar. Then, a stranger challenged the group about their business backgrounds. A tense atmosphere filled the room as a Fang voiced his frustration over the companies he had invested in. A heated argument erupted as a frustrated man accused another of causing his financial ruin. The calm man listened silently, surprised by the outburst. A tense confrontation unfolded between two men in formal attire, the air thick with accusation and anger. Fang received a slap from the furious investor. An angry man towered over a seated Fang, accusing him of squandering a fortune. A shocked woman in a bridal gown expressed disbelief about how Fang lost his vast wealth in an instant without a single cent left. The crowd erupted in chaos as an angry Fang pointed at someone, claiming an attack had been orchestrated against him. The crowd pleaded with President Yi for mercy, desperation echoed in their voices. Fang watched the scene unfold, concern etched on his face. An angry Fang commanded his followers to kick the crowd out, threatening the family's reputation in. A tense confrontation erupted in an upscale venue as a defiant Fang demanded the guests leave immediately. Fang issued a stern command for a full refund, insisting the family restore their lost dignity. An angry man in a tuxedo confronted President Yi, accusing him of causing significant financial loss for his son. Fang spoke with confidence, dismissing concerns about his son's actions, and the money burned as if it were insignificant. A bride stood in despair, questioning her decision to marry Fang despite the overwhelming background of Yi. A tense confrontation unfolded as a Fang threatened his adversary with fierce determination. He warned that the underworld would not forgive such a slight against his son. Fang gestured with curiosity, expressing interest in learning a lesson from the president while wondering about his underworld ally. A tense atmosphere filled the room as a man spoke sternly into his phone. The woman beside him looked on with concern. An aggressive figure reached toward the woman in a red dress, who recoiled in fear, sensing the impending threat. A sudden reach from an unknown man startled a woman, pulling her back in surprise. Fang rushed to assist a distressed woman, while a boy glared at them with anger. A determined man in formal attire walked towards the building entrance, speaking urgently on his phone. Tension thickened in the air as an elderly figure stepped forward, commanding attention from the group surrounding a Fang. He called out to Fang, making his presence known with authority. Fang stood nervously, feeling the weight of the moment as the group closed in. A formal gathering buzzed with anticipation as the host eagerly addressed the audience, inviting their participation in a critical matter. Fang looked skeptical about the host's enthusiastic request for help. An older man in formal attire called out urgently as he chased after a group of indifferent figures. The atmosphere shifted as the elderly man gestured proudly to introduce Yi, promising connections that could change everything. A surprise gift was raised high as excitement filled the air. Fang exclaimed joyfully to Lord, celebrating his birthday with enthusiasm. Lord reacted with shock, unable to comprehend the sudden gesture. A cheerful servant approached with a brightly wrapped gift, announcing the birthday surprise for Fang. A man in a suit received a gift box, his expression a mix of confusion and anxiety. Lord questioned what it was, clearly startled by the unexpected present. The atmosphere grew tense as Fang presented a gift to the stern man, his hands shaking with uncertainty. A formal setting buzzed with anticipation as Fang stood confidently, ready to assert himself. Fang commanded the two older men to leave, insisting he was there for a wedding banquet. A tense atmosphere thickened as a Fang threatened another, declaring that any harm to the young master would bring dire consequences. A tense silence filled the room as Fang confidently held out a gift, drawing shocked reactions from the guests. A festive atmosphere enveloped the room as glasses were raised in celebration. The Fang announced the toast to President Yi's birthday. Excitement sparkled in the attendees' eyes as they cheered in agreement. Joy radiated from the group as they clinked their glasses together. Laughter and chatter filled the air, creating a lively. Curiosity flickered among those present, deepening the connection of the moment. A celebratory mood surged through the room as a gracious and charismatic Fang raised his glass to the audience. He expressed gratitude for the birthday wishes while shifting focus to the newlyweds. Fang stood at the wedding, drink in hand, reflecting on the ceremony while feeling the weight of his responsibilities. Expressed her fears about the wedding to the crowd, feeling trapped between expectations and her true desires. If you'd like to see your favorite titles retold, leave a comment and I'll be sure to pick some of them up from time to time. Also, let me know which video format you like more, long videos or short ones. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you again soon.